Hey guys, and welcome back to this video. Now in this video I'm going to show you about the display block element and some of the CSS property that you need to understand before we get dive into the heavy CSS part. Okay, let's get started with it, and let me show you that how exactly this display is actually working. And before we start it out, let me tell you that this is not the only one property that you see onto the CSS. There are a couple of more, but those property are a little bit heavy to understand first. So that's why I'm trying to give you an example that how we can use this display here. Every time when you create in design inside the CSS, particularly you are using those kind of properties like a display properties. So please try to understand that how these things are actually working, so that you will able to understand how we can just create those properties when we are creating a beautiful and stunning website. Let's get started. Now what I will do, I will here just h1 tag and h1 inside here, hi there, and after that I will go for the paragraph tag, and I will just say hello there. Okay, save it and let's move on to the browser. Okay, so here is the browser. Did you see that the the condition here is that we are putting the heading tag at the first, padding at the bottom, but as we grow up, as we try to add our elements, it is not going inside the row. Now what I mean that here is a hi there, I want hello there inside the next of a hi there in the row. It is going by the columns, it is not going inside the row. So how we can deal up with that thing? If you go on to the inspect mode of it, and you will see there, let me just zoom in a little bit so that you will able to see it properly. Okay, now inside the body element, if you consider this h1, you will see it consider the whole width. Whatever the page width will be, it's containing the whole width. And that's the problem, right? We are saying that, hey, why is considering the whole width? We can manage it, we can do almost all the things inside it, inside the CSS, using the CSS, but that's not the case here. You will see this is something like a little bit of spacing between that. So we can do one more thing. I think I already told you that this star will consider the whole page, and I will say margin of 0. Save it. Oh, now it's containing the whole width of it. Okay, so I want that whatever the element will be on the next, I want to show it inside one direction. And for that, let me show you an anchor tag so that we will able to understand very quickly. Okay, now I am here, I'm going with the anchor tag. I will say this, and let's say submit. And there are one more anchor tag that I wanted to add. Not this, it's an anchor tag actually, slash, and here I will say cancel. Okay, save it and just go here. You will see anchor tag is containing the one by one thing, like as we go with the h1p, it will go by the column, but when we are trying to add an anchor tag, it will just going with the row. And why this thing is happening, let me show you inside a CSS file. Okay, I want to put anchor tag, and inside the anchor tag I want to showcase that, hey, I want this kind of width, I want that kind of height. So can we do that? Width is like 20. Now it's little bit odd for that. Let's say 100, and height is also 100. Save it. Let's go back, and if I go on to the body and if I show into the anchor tag, you will see it is not applied. It is like 46 multiplied by 18. Now why this thing is not going to be applied here? Okay, you can see width and height is don't used inside here. This is the thing which can be used using the display property. If I show you that, I'm moving here, and let me just add a display property. And inside the display property, we have a lot more property. We have flex box, flow root, grid, almost all other things. But especially right now, we are using a block. Save it. It is containing the whole tag which you wanted to use. Let's go back, and now if I go here, you can see using this block, it will just move on to the next line. Although it's not applied by the width and height, just because I misspelled it. It's in pixels and it's also a pixels. Save it. Now it's working, right? Okay, I got the point that with the using of a block, we can just say that, hey, whatever this tag will be, it's an element, and I want to specifically show it the height and width for it. Okay, so I hope you got the point. Now it has a separate elements. Okay, you can see this. Okay, but now we are coming with our first problem that we want it onto the row. We don't want it to move on to like next in all other things. We want inside the row. Now how are we gonna do that? We have another property called as inline block. Inline block. Okay, so it says the container of blocks, and you will see. Okay, now let me show you one more thing. If we go and increase the width of it like 600, and if we cross the limit of it, okay, if we cross, let's say it's too much, 400, save it. Okay, now if it's also too much, I think so, let's say 300. Okay, with this 300, let me just go. Okay, you can see 300 is also too much for it. Let's go for 200, and if I just increase this, you will see, okay, it's just containing the row. If we can able to manage both of the widths inside that particular page, but if we cross our limit, it will move on to the next line. Okay, so this is the inline block statement that is useful. Okay, let's remove all the anchor tags and let's see. Oh, it is working with h1 or inside p1 or something like that. Yeah, let's try to do it. Display, and we can say inline block, save it. Okay, now that's weird, right? This is width, but we also need to add inline block for that particular paragraph tag, because paragraph tag will also considering the full width of it. Okay, so for that reason, we also need to apply this thing. Oh, sorry, for the paragraph as well. Let's say, oh, that's good, right? That's pretty fantastic. We can just say all the elements inside the one line. So this is the functionality of a display block element and inline block element. Okay, in lot more cases, in my suggestion will be like, this is not that much useful, but yeah, in some cases it is useful. I mostly try to use a flex box there and flex there, but yeah, for some of the couple of reasons, I wanted to conclude that, hey, this is also a property that exists right now. So I hope you got the point. Let me see you in the next one. Let's see in the next. Okay.